This one is called the full moon split. It is not for the faint of heart, but don't let that discourage you. We're going to break it down and walk you through it. So for this one, it bears some similarities to a choker split. You got that arm around your neck. We're going to be entering this from an inside leg hang. So you should be 100% comfortable in your inside leg hang without hands, because this one's going to get a little tricksy. So for this one, for those of you that consider yourself not flexy in the nether region, this is your move. For those of you that are flexy and have a very good spready to the gods, you're going to have to work a little bit harder in this move. And it's going to require a lot of engagement of that adductor of that inside leg. Your adductor is the muscle that's going to pull your leg in. That's how we keep that contact point when we open that leg. So for this one, getting into your inside leg hang. You can enter your inside leg hang from any entrance you want. But I find, for me personally, what I've found through my trials and tribulations, that I find this move is much more secure if I enter it from a cradle to an inside leg hang, because it makes that inside leg hang easier to have it a little bit more compact. Okay, so regardless of what entrance that you use to get to your inside leg hang, you want that inside leg hang to be in a really tight inside leg hang. That's going to give you more surface area for this point of contact, which our life kind of depends on, okay? Versus more of an old school traditional inside leg hang where we have that leg more extended. We want to have it nice and tight, more similar to how it would be like with an outside leg hang. So, like I said, I like getting into it from a cradle, but whatever entrance works best from you, you can drop down into it, invert up into it, transition however you like. So our first move, we're going to be going to inside leg hang. Like I said, I'm entering from a cradle, but do you, boo. Our inside hand is going to be the one that's going to be doing the choker move, okay? It gets confusing sometimes when we're upside down, okay? So inside leg is going to have a contact point right here. We're going to have our torso around the pole, so you're going to have some contact point on this back. That inside arm is going to be grabbing the pole and your head is coming through. How you grab with this bottom hand is personal preference. Personally, I end up in just a cup. If you prefer to wrap that thumb around, thumb down, thumb up, whatever feels most secure. There's nothing that makes it less ergonomically sound by switching the grip, whichever makes you feel like you're holding on a little tighter. But like I said, I personally prefer the cup. Okay, so I'm going to reach down my inside hand, and I'm demoing this right side up because some of these moves are a little hard to talk through when I get upside down. So I'm going to reach my inside hand down. I'm going to thread my head through. And then from here, really important to increase this contact point, is I'm going to engage my upper back. And what that's going to look like is as if you're sticking your chest out. Okay, so it's just this motion you'll see when I'm upside down. In doing that, it actually pushes the pole more into my inner thigh, more into my side, and more into my upper back. It basically braces all three of those points there. Okay, so hand, thread it through. I find with this one too, to make it feel more secure when that leg releases, is make sure that this hand that's going to be down towards the ground is closer to your neck. You don't want to have it way down here. If it's way down here, it's not going to be quite as secure when you're in it. Okay, so that inside hand is going to be going down. So inside, we have inside leg, side of the body, back of the body, and hand. Ideally in a cup, but a true, whatever works best for you. Outside hand and leg. Your outside hand and leg, you're going to be grabbing that leg. This is purely aesthetics. It's not helping you hold the move. All it's doing is giving that shape that is now called the full moon split. Okay, so the outside hand is going to be grabbing that outside leg and extending it. How you grab it, personal preference. Once again, this hand and this grip carries no weight in how stable you are in the move. It's literally just aesthetics and finding the shape that you want with it. Okay, so let's go through it on the pole. And like I said, kind of hard to talk through some of these, so hence the reason I kind of talk these things out right side up. And then now hopefully you can kind of see them in the little spurts where I'm losing my breath and all the things. So as I said, I'm going to go from a cradle on my little short pole, a nice tight inside leg hang here, okay? And I'm going to lay back into it. That inside hand is going to grab, I've got thumb up, grab the pole, thread my head through, and there's that upper back engagement, okay? Outside hand grabs the outside leg. Last little bit is that opening of that inside leg, okay? So here's the part I can't talk through when I'm doing it upside down. that inside leg, and this is where those of you that are less flexy in the nether region, this is going to be to your advantage. That inside leg, when I open it, I need to make sure I'm really pushing it into the pole, which to me, generally speaking, when I open my legs on the pole, I naturally, instinctually, from years of training, try to make the biggest spready to the gods when I go to it. But that would be life-threatening in this situation, okay? So when going into this, my inside leg, when I open it, I really think engage and push it in so it increases that contact point right there. The outside leg, you can push away, but I find with this one, after I do the move a few times, that makes sense in my brain and body. But the first couple times, each time I do this, I tend to not go very wide even with that outside leg, because in my mind, sometimes it's hard to separate moving one leg out and not the other. And I'd rather move no legs out than both legs out and plummet to my death. Yes, it can even happen on these little short poles. Still doesn't feel good. Okay. So with this, like I said, you can make it more flexy and a bigger spready by opening the outside leg as much as you want, but make sure that inside leg is really pushing in. And then don't forget that upper back engagement. That upper back engagement, very similar to what we use in a spatchcock, in a bird of paradise, so many pole moves. By engaging that upper back, that lift of the chest or stick your tatas out, that's going to increase that contact point so that more of your contact point is between that shoulder, hand, hip, and thigh versus it being just this thigh, okay? So this is your full moon split, okay? From an inside leg hang, make sure it's nice and tight. Play around with this, of course, as always. If this is newer to you, make sure that you use a mat and or a spotter with this one to make sure you're safe. Let me know how it goes. Don't forget to drop in the comments how it goes, questions, comments, concerns. What do you think of this move? Yay, nay, sketchy, uncomfortable, burns, it bites, it freezes. Honestly, I think it's cool looking. Honestly, this one surprised me that it took a little more effort than I was expecting with this one, but I kind of like it. What do you think?